using me to get a free meal. Since my probation, I am fed up. You and me can't I wanna let you know you that you that I am what you do. You want me to reassure you my love will be purposeless without you. If I want it, I'm gonna ask you. What's up, y'all? Excuse me. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Red back at it again with another video. Yeah, so you're probably maybe thinking like, why she look like this? What's going on? What's up with this title? I don't know what I'm gonna title it yet, but yeah, y'all know. I have a story to tell. This is my Valentine's Day mug that I got. I have a story to tell, and I also need to practice like this makeup look for like this huge event that I got coming up. So I was like, why not just do it all at the same time? So that's what we're doing. This is not a makeup tutorial because baby, I am not a makeup girly. I don't do none of that. But I gotta do my own face for this event. So I'm just gonna be telling y'all the story and all of that. I got some breakfast. I got some Belvitas. Can y'all see those? Some Belvitas chocolate. I only eat the chocolate kind. And I got me some homemade pink lemonade. So let's just go ahead and get right into the story. I gotta pull up the eye look. Again, this is not a tutorial. None of that. Like, I'm not about to be like, oh, here's what none of that. Okay, and I'm just doing my eyes at that. Like, I'm not doing my face. I'm not doing none of that. So let me find this picture first. Okay. Whew. I should wrote some notes. Okay, let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm originally from Texas. I'm originally from Dallas, Texas, for the people that do not know. And I went to college near Houston, Texas. I went to Prairie View A&M University. It is like maybe like an hour away from Texas A&M. So it's like say it's Texas A&M, PV, and then Houston. So we were like an hour west of Houston, and then like an hour southeast of Texas A&M, I guess you could say, whatever, right? So small country town, whatever. This is not relevant. I'm just, PV, yeah. So went to college near Houston, and then after I graduated college, I moved to the Houston area. I lived in Houston for 2017, 18, 19. I lived in Houston for 2.5 years. Wow. I lived in Houston for 2.5 years before I actually moved to Oklahoma, which is where I live now, right? So cool. Boom. 3 years ago, I moved to Oklahoma. I didn't have any friends here, obviously, but I am a very bubbly and outgoing person. So it wasn't really hard for me to make friends. Plus, I was going to Transformation Church at the time. I'm saying like I don't go there now, but I was going there a lot more back then. Like I was like super into going to church like super often. Like I was like, I had like reaccepted God all over again, like as an adult, like all that stuff, right? I don't know how I'm gonna do this and talk at the same time. So I was going to church, right? And I was going to the church and like going to like church groups and like all that stuff before I actually moved, because I was working out here. Like I was traveling to go to work out here. So I met people before, excuse me, before I actually even like physically moved, right? Cool. So I met like this couple. They were married, right? Yeah, they were married. They were young. But they were married. Doesn't matter their ages, but they were just young. They weren't like this old couple. They were like my age, right? My age group. Hold on, let me do my eyebrows because I cannot talk to my eyebrows. Hold on, y'all. And let me turn my phone on loud because like people are like texting me. I hope whatever future home I have has good lighting like this. Because baby, this ain't nothing but straight God's filter, okay? The sun is sunning. And all the snow is melting and stuff. Yeah, girl, it's cute. Okay, so I met this couple. Where's the concealer? Girl! Not the concealer, not in here. What the hell? Y'all, hold on. Y'all, I don't got nobody's concealer. I don't know what happened to my concealer. It's not in here. And I'm gonna have to go buy some more. Obviously not right at this moment. But like, damn, I could have bought some yesterday when I went to the beauty supply. Okay, whatever. So I'm gonna just use this foundation that I got that I don't need to have no more. But whatever. Okay. That's not even relevant to the video. Okay, so... And if I'm looking over here, it's because I'm trying to get used to the camera. So what I'm going to do is flip that way so I can look at the camera. It should still be focused on me. And if it's not, that's going to be tragic. Okay, so I met this couple, right? It was a guy and a girl. I met the guy first, then I met his wife, right? So I hung out with them together and separately because they were cool. There was like a group of friends, basically. Like, it was like a group of people, like girls and guys, and we all just hung out all the time, especially because half of the people in the group had just moved here. All the people that were not from here or like didn't go to college here or whatever had just moved all at the same time, including myself. So like we all had like a lot in common in regards to what brought us to the city, the church, and all that stuff, which was like really cool and really like comforting, right? So the girl out of the couple, we're gonna call her Jackie, right? Jackie was like real cool or whatever, right? Like I went to her house all the time because like people just went to their house. She only came to mine like maybe 3 times, but like I wasn't used to people coming to like my house because when I grew up, my grandmother, she didn't really let people come over, but I sometimes went to other people's house. Like it was kind of weird. So I wasn't used to like people coming to my house just for that fact, but I had no problem going to other people's houses, if that makes sense. So not that I didn't want anybody in my space. It just was abnormal for me. So it's just something I'm slowly growing out of, especially now that I live like out of the way of like most of like my friends and stuff now, technically, but we make it do what it do. So I had like 3 businesses at the time, right? I had By Red Beauty, I had By Red Wholesale, and then I had Reds University, right? So I forgot what year this was. I guess year 2 of me living in Oklahoma. She decided that she wanted to be like a social media manager and like help like Oklahoma entrepreneurs like grow their social media pages, like Instagram and all of that. Which like, okay, cool. That sounded real cool. But then, like, hindsight thinking back, it's like, you didn't really have a presence on social media? So how was you going to help other people have a presence on social media? I don't know. So, but that's neither here or there, right? It is, but it ain't. So she was like, she wanted to start this social media marketing business, mainly for, like, people in Oklahoma. Because some people in Oklahoma, especially some of the young people, didn't fully understand social media like that. I didn't really have that problem. I honestly just needed somebody to help me do stuff. So I can't remember if she offered to help me with my social media or if I like wanted her to work with me. I can't really remember that conversation, but it ended up being to where she was going to help me be consistent in like doing my social media, right? That's where we got to. Okay, cool. So it started off as she was going to be doing for me what she wanted to do for other people, right? Which was the whole social media thing. Like I'm going to like make posts for you. You're going to post them based on, like your audience, all that other stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's cool with me. So she started making posts. It was for Reds University, right? So, and I was like, yeah, Reds University can be a trial run to see if we want to do this for the other 2 businesses, right? And she's like, okay, cool. I'm like, all right, bet. And to me, this was going to be the beginning of me getting stuff off of my plate, right? Because I had 3 businesses. I was trying to do everything for all of them all at the same time. It was just a lot, right? So I was like, okay, for me, this is going to be really great for me to see if this is something I can do and just invest in, right? Like that's where I was going with all of that. So she started making content, making posts for Reds University. They were trash. Let me start there. They were freaking trash. They were not good. I did not like them. Her vibe was not my vibe. We weren't vibing together, and I just did not like them. I'm just gonna cut to the freaking chase. I did not like the things that she was making for me, and it was, I'm not gonna lie, at the time super hard for me to communicate what my vision was for the post that I was making. So I had to send her like past posts that I was making and like other stuff, right? Like it just got super difficult. So throughout, like from her starting to making the post up until the end of that agreement or whatever, I feel like she had like 4 or 5 different kind of roles, right? I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like I felt like one moment she was making posts, the next moment she was doing something else. I can't even fully remember, y'all, because it's like happened so long ago now. I can't even fully remember everything that she was doing, but it just got so complicated that it was just like, what the fuck's going on? Like, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. So she was making the post. I didn't like the post. I was like, just stop making the post. Mind you, throughout this entire time, I'm paying her. Like, I'm paying her monthly. I forgot how much I was paying her, but I wasted thousands of dollars on this young lady, and it was just, whoo, girl. Like, when I say wasted money, like wasted freaking money, because everything that she was trying to do for like these other people that had no idea what they were doing, that she's trying to do for me, and I'm like, I'm already doing all this stuff. I just need you to take what I'm already doing off my plate type. But she wasn't doing that. So it gets to the point where we're working together for like a few months, and I tell her that, not that it's not working, but like something isn't working for me, right? I'm telling her like, hey, this isn't what I thought you were going to be doing. What are you actually supposed to be doing? This isn't really helping me. This is actually giving me a little bit more stress, like blah, 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 right? So she comes over to my house. She comes over. We're trying to have a conversation about like how we're going to move forward, all this stuff. And I'm thinking like, okay, cool. We're going to move forward. It's going to be good going like in the future, right? Okay, bet. So then I decided that I wanted to throw a conference, right? I was going to throw like a Raise University conference here in Tulsa, and it was going to like be like this whole thing, right? And she was helping me obviously plan the conference, right? So she's helping me plan the conference. And during this time is when I really realized that, yo, she sucks at her job. Whatever the job is, she sucks, right? So I'm gonna just call her my assistant at this point, right? She was my assistant. She kept telling me I needed an executive assistant, and I'm like, I'm not at the point to where I need someone running around buying groceries for me. Like, that's not where I'm at all. I just need somebody to help me take some things off my plate. Not even make products or nothing like that. Like, just help me in some way. And I will say that a part of that issue was me, because I didn't fully know what I needed her help with. I just knew I needed help. So I won't say all of this is on her. A lot of it is on me. But at the same time, she was coming to the table with potential solutions. They just weren't solutions for me, if that makes sense. She's helping me do the conference, right? I hate every time I do the dark part on these eyes, because it always looks like I got beat up. Every time. Like, I just don't like it. So she's helping me do the conference, right? And as she's helping me do the conference, we're still having communication issues of what she's really supposed to be helping me do versus not helping me do. And it's getting to the point where I'm getting aggravated in my text messages. Like, if you ever text me and my whole tone has changed, baby, I got an attitude, right? I had a lot worse communication issues back in the day. I still have a lot that I need to work on. I'm not even going to lie to you, but I stick up for myself a lot more now. And during this time, I was trying to stick up for myself when I realized that, like, this isn't just a friend, right? This is somebody I'm now paying. We now have a business relationship. And our business relationship was taking a toll on our personal relationship. Like, we never met about personal stuff anymore. We never caught up about, our personal lives. It was just straight business. And since that relationship wasn't like the best, it was like our relationship in general was like just going to trash, like literally, like it was just not okay. We had this one conversation one time and I was just like livid, like I was just pissed off, whatever, can't remember what I said. And I'm not gonna say like let me go find the text messages because I don't know if I still have them. So if I do still have them, I may put them in here, but don't count on that. But I was just livid, right? So she decided, she's like, hey, let's go out to dinner, let's go talk about it. And she said, you know, since we're talking about business stuff, we can put it on your corporate account so we can write off the meal. You can, no, not we, you can write off the meal. So let's just go to like our favorite restaurant, which is not like cheap, right? It's not expensive, but it's not cheap. It's definitely like you got a little money just to like spend. Let's go there. Let's talk about our issues because we're talking about business. And then you could put it on your corporate account. She did that like 3 times. Now, at the time, we weren't just talking about our issues and stuff like that. We were actually talking about like legit business stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, this obviously makes sense, right? Thinking back on it, especially when our relationship ended, I'm like, this bitch was fucking using me. And I'm sorry for cussing, and hopefully I bleep that out. But I'm like, yo, this girl was really on some crazy stuff. And maybe to her, she wasn't using me. But baby, that's exactly what happened. She was freaking using me to get a free meal just to like put it as, oh, you can just file this on your taxes at the end of the year type. She had to pay for nothing. Crazy. She did that multiple times. She literally did that multiple freaking times. And it's just so wild that she thought that was okay. Like really thinking back about like the whole friendship, relationship, whatever. I'm like, whatever. We'll get there. Okay, we'll get there. We go to the restaurant. We're talking about whatever. We're like, hey, we need to have a personal relationship outside of this business relationship because this is just not working for us. Boom, boom, bam. Right? We're like, okay, cool. We're on the same freaking page of all of this. Like, we don't need to just be business friends or whatever. Like, we need to get like our relationship back together. Cool, right? Like, all that made perfect fucking sense. I mean, I'm fast forwarding through a lot of stuff, right? So let's just recap real quick. So she was making social media posts for me. It wasn't working. And then she was trying to be like an actual social media manager and like tell me what to post and different things like that. That wasn't working. Then she became like an executive assistant for me, trying to help me plan the convention. That wasn't working because every time she talked to like a vendor or something else, she was just talking to them without actually asking me questions, sending them like, oh, we want this, we want that. And like, yes, you're going to pay for this, pay for that. And she wasn't paying for shit. I had to pay for all this out of my pocket. I wasted a lot of money with a lot of vendors because we didn't actually end up doing the conference. I was out of a lot. She was out of nothing, and she was still getting paid for all of this stuff, right? So that's where we are. That's where we are in this story, right? So we're working on our friendship, right? So we had a mutual friend that we met together. Like I said, at the beginning, it was a group of us, right? So Jackie is the main girl, right? We're going to call the other friend Shay. So me, Jackie, and Shay were all cool, right? Shay had her own stuff going on. Shay was also super busy. She had stuff going on in her life, working. I think she was like in school at the time. So of course she's not hanging out with us as often anyway because she got her own stuff going on, right? So all of us was like, hey, let's all go get like dinner or something, right? Let's all like this sounds so Love and Hip Hop ish, but it really was. So it was like, oh, let's all go get something to eat. I don't know why I'm saying dinner, but like it was dinner. It's like, oh, let's all go get something to eat, and like catch up and blah blah. Like that's what you do with your friends, right? That's what you do with your girls. So we was like, okay, bet. So Shay only like with the job that she only had Mondays off, right? She's like, I only have Mondays off, but she wasn't saying it like that's a deal breaker for me, like I can't go if it's not on a Monday. She was just stating I only have Mondays off, and y'all know this. Boom boom bam. So just like consider that when y'all are like trying to plan when we're gonna go to eat, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. I keep that in mind because every time I went to go see her, I saw her on Mondays. Like I went to her apartment on Mondays to go see her because I knew that's when she had the days off, right? Jackie gonna come in and say, well, I go to the gym on Monday. Like she had a personal trainer with her husband or something like that. It was like, I go to the gym on Mondays with my husband and my personal trainer, and y'all know that, but I guess I can like reschedule since Monday is the only free day. That's how she said it in a text message. Okay, that's how she said it in the text message. And the reason why I know that's how she said it in the text message, because I know how she talks. We're friends, right? We've been friends at this point 2 years. Like I know how she talks, right? So Shay was like, oh, okay, cool, that's cool, like I'm not tripping on that, obviously. Let me know when and where, blah blah blah. But at the time, no one, like, okay, so when Jackie was like, oh, I gotta redo my whole schedule type, she didn't say all of that in that message at that time. All this came out later, but she still had the attitude in the message. That's definitely a thing, and I felt the attitude, but I'm like, I'm free on whatever day. Like, you know, just let me freaking know, right? We go to dinner, right? It's Monday night. We go get whatever the heck we go get, right? So cool. So I show up first, then Jackie shows up, and then we're waiting on Shay. We're waiting on Shay, right? We wasn't waiting on her a long time. We was just waiting on her. So we're all catching up, kikiing, talking about relationship stuff, personal stuff, whatever, like, you know, what the girlies do, right? So out of nowhere, girl, out of nowhere, Jackie gonna say, and I feel like I was on an episode of Dr. Phil. Jackie gonna say,
and you know, I just really have a problem with both of y'all. Both of y'all are not really good friends to me.
Mind you, we have been drinking. We're adults. We've been drinking. We feeling good and toasty. And me and Shay look at her and said, huh? Like, first of all, where did this come from? 2, what is you talking about? 3, girl, what? Like, it was just so much, right? So much going on. So Shay and Jackie actually have the same birthday. So they are very, very similar. They're just a year apart. They are very, very similar in the way that they react and respond to people. And I actually react and respond the complete opposite of both of them. So when she says this, and I really wish I could remember the conversation verbatim, but I don't. But when she says this, the first thing I think of is, what can I do to be a better friend to you? Because she's just been talking to us about, you know, her personal life, family, friends, all this other stuff, like, you know, whatever. So I'm over here like, I know I'm not one of those type of people. How can I just be better, like a better friend, right? Because that's what you would do, right? Like, if someone's telling you like, hey, I don't really think you're being a good friend to me, like, would it be your first thought to try and better yourself? Like y'all tell me in the comments, like, what would be the first thing you would say? Because to me, I was like, what could I do better? But apparently that's not what I should have did, because this wasn't my fault. So let me continue. So she's like, I don't think y'all being a good friend to me. I feel like I always show up for y'all don't show up for me. I had to redo my entire schedule just to come to this dinner, and y'all wasn't trying to like budge at all, and da 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 da. And me and Shay is like, girl, like, no one was saying that we had to only do it on Monday. We was just saying that Jackie was only off on Mondays, and it'll be easier for her any other day. She probably couldn't have came. And she was like, well, I always got to redo my entire schedule for everybody else in my life, and I'm always showing up. Nobody ever want to show up for me. Da 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 da. And I'm in the moment, I'm over here like, okay, well, I was like, I can't speak for both of us, but what can I do better as a friend? Da da da. And this girl gonna say, well, I have pillars in a friendship. What is this? Like, huh? She's like, I got 7 pillars in a friendship. I wish I could remember all 7. I didn't remember them when she told me. But she was like, loyalty, honesty, and like a whole bunch of other stuff. And me and Shay is like, girl, you must be out your freaking mind. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we are not, first of all, we're not your husband. We're not, like, what, like, yes, having expectations for people in your life, like, to a certain degree, like, you know, if they're your boyfriend, if they're your family members, if they're your husband, if they're, like, your business partner, I get that. But just, like, the way she set it up as a friendship, it was just super weird. Like, you're holding everybody up to this certain expectation, and when people don't meet your exact expectation, you're like, y'all are trash to me, which I don't think is okay. Like, I'm like, that's not okay. So she's like, I expect people to do this and to do this and do that for me, whatever. And Shay, cause Shay is like her, Shay said, I'm gonna be honest with you, I ain't doing all of that. I told you from jump, this is what I can give, this is what I'm okay with giving, and if that's not enough for you, then we're not gonna be friends. And I'm over here like, nah, real talk, because you really on some other, you on some fugazi stuff right now. Like, what are you, like, what's really going on? What's really tea? You know what I'm saying? Because this is like low-key random as hell. Like, you ambushed us because we all together type, and we're telling you what we can and cannot do, and I'm also telling her what I can and cannot do. Like, that's not the type of friend I am. Like, that's cool, right? So then, this is like a sidebar, right? She had this other really close friend. I don't know if they're friends anymore because I don't really care. But she had this other close friend, and we were like, we think, let's call her Amber. We was like, what about you and Amber? Like, you and Amber, like, super close, even though y'all just met. Y'all have a lot in common. Y'all are both married. Like, they drove the same car. I guess that's something cool, I guess. Like, they just had a lot more stuff in common, like, with, like, just how they grew up and, like, all this other stuff. And they were a lot closer, and we were okay with that. Like, that's perfectly fine. Like, girl, you know, be friends with who you want to be friends with. And she was like, well, I have a 6-month probation for anybody. So, like, since we haven't been friends for 6 months yet, I don't really consider her, like a super close friend, da-da-da-da. And we looking at her like, 6-month probation? Okay, y'all. Edited red here. I'm editing this video, right? I'm editing this video, and at first, like, I was getting back pissed because every time I told this story, it just brought up all the old memories. But this part right here, it got me. Like, what? Like, it was just so crazy. Just so crazy. I just had to insert that. Like, I just had to insert that. Continue on with the story time. They're gonna get nothing to you but be like your friend. And I'm over here sitting like, if this girl was sitting here with us right now, I promise you she would feel a type of way. Because she was super sweet, super nice. And I feel like she considered Jackie a friend. Like, Amber considered Jackie a friend. And for Jackie to just be sitting there like, yeah, we not really cool yet because she ain't shown me her true colors yet and I just don't really know. And da-da-da. And I'm like, you're crazy. You're crazy. But mind you, y'all, in this moment, I'm not thinking none of this. Because I'm just here to try to be a good friend. Like, I am blinded by the fact of she feel like she don't got no good friends. And that's all that I can think of. Girl, I cannot talk to you right now. So, she like, yeah, 6-month probation, this and that, da-da-da-da. So, we like, okay, girl. So, I wish I could remember exactly how the conversation ended, but I can't. I just know that me and Shay ended up leaving. We ended up going out that night because she was celebrating like another friend, like accomplishment or something. And I just ended up tagging along, whatever, right? Cool. I ended the night really good because I had a good time with Shay. Because I also hadn't seen Shay in a minute, so we was hanging out. I met some of her other friends, and cool, we had a ball. Like, when I say had a ball, had a freaking ball. So I didn't go to sleep. I done slept all this stuff off because I'm thinking everything good. I go have lunch with my sisters, right? I go have lunch with my sisters, and I'm telling them, I'm like, y'all, let me tell y'all what happened on Monday. This is like on a Wednesday. This is like 2 days later. I'm like, y'all, let me tell y'all what happened the other day. Like, this is like a kiki type shit. They're like, girl, what happened? Because don't nothing happen here. Like, you know where we all live at. By this time, both my sisters live here, right? And my little sister just moved here like a month and a half before. Like, she just got here. Like, just got here. Fresh off the boat type. Let me not say off the boat, but just got here, right? I tell them the whole story. I'm like, yeah, this is what she said at the dinner. This is what Jackie told me. And Shay, mind you, Sierra, my sister, she knows Shay. She actually knows both of them. Let me stop lying. She knows both of them, but like she was more cool with Shay. Sierra didn't really like vibe with Jackie for her own personal reasons, and I obviously understand that now, but she didn't vibe with her like that. But she knew that was my friend, so like she was very much respectful, and I've always loved her for that. But so I'm telling the story. They looking at me like I am crazy, cause I'm just like, yeah, girl, ain't that crazy? Da, da, da. And they looking at me like, girl, what? Like, you must be the margarita you drink right now must be hella strong, because how do you not see that this is a problem? And I'm over here like, I'm confused, like what happened? And they both tell me, they was like, girl, that girl is not your friend. And I was like, huh? What you mean she not my friend? Yes, she my friend. Like, what you talking about? Like, da, 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 da. Right? And they like, girl, that girl is not your friend. Because she would have not done this and that to you, to y'all, but I'm really just speaking for me, right? She's like, she wouldn't have did this and that to you. She wouldn't have, you know, been doing all this stuff with the business stuff and da whatever. Like, she is not your friend. Like, you really need to sit back and evaluate all of these things that has happened and really see if you really want to be friends with her anymore. They didn't say that, but that's how I took it, right? So I'm over here like, I am in shock. Like, when I say in shock, and I'm thinking about what the freak they just told me, because like I said, I am in freaking shock. I'm like, this can't be true. What y'all mean? Whatever. So I'm sitting there like contemplating our entire friendship, right? And not just the friendship, but the business aspect, because I'm over here. This is when everything is starting to click for me. It's like the whole dinner stuff and the paying for stuff, and you know, the complications in trying to solidify her role, and like just like when I say everything is just like boom, 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 and there are no positives. Like, there are no positives at all. And if there is a positive, girl, that list of cons was outweighing. Okay, so again, this was like during the day on Wednesday when I talked to them. So I had like the whole evening, the whole nighttime to think about all this stuff, right? So I text this girl. If I find the text messages, I'm gonna put them in here. So I text her something like, hey, we need to have a conversation about something, right? Can't remember exactly what I said, but I was like, we need to talk type. It was like the we need to talk text that you get from your girlfriend or your man type. So it was like that, and I don't know if it was my tone or what it was, but she knew something was wrong. She knew something was absolutely wrong, and she was absolutely right. And she was like, oh, we can like, she said something like, no, I said, when are you available to talk, or something like that. And I was on her time, right? Like, I was on her time. She was like, oh, I'm available Thursday at 12 p.m. or something like that. Like, again, if I could find these text messages, I would, because my days may be mixed up, because this happened like over a year ago. So she was like, oh, I'm free at like Thursday at like 12 o'clock. And I was like, oh, this girl think I'm playing. Like, she think I'm on some, oh, okay, cool. So then I had said, I forgot what I said, but I was just like not having it. And I was like, no, I was like, okay, cool, right? So she was like, I'm only available Thursday, 12 o'clock, something like that. I said, okay, cool. But like my responses were like, you knew something was wrong with me. So she was like, is everything okay? Like, we could talk right now, like we could talk tomorrow, something like that. I said, no, you said you're available Thursday at 12 p.m. So we're gonna talk Thursday at 12 p.m. Like, don't try to like hurry up and have the conversation with me, because you know, now you know that I feel a type of way about something. You have no idea what it is, but you know, I feel a type of way about something, and you're trying to hurry up and rush to do whatever. No, we're not about to do that, right? So I don't think this is all happening in the same week. I think this is over like a 2-week span. So like, we had the dinner on Monday. I think I talked to my sister's on like that Wednesday or Thursday, and then like that Sunday, I think like the following Sunday is when I text her, because I've been thinking about it for days. I think that's what happened. And then she was like, oh, I'm only free Tuesday at 12, whatever I said, and something like that, right? Yeah, it had to be Sunday because I was watching church. She was like, I'm available Thursday at 12. And then I was like, okay, cool, we'll talk Thursday at 12. And then she was like, oh, we can talk right now. I said, no, I'm watching church. I'm not going to talk to you right now. She was like, oh, okay, well, we can talk like on Tuesday or something. I said, no, you're available Thursday at 12. That's what happened. That's what the fuck happened. So she knows something coming. She don't know what it is, but something is coming, okay? And it's coming for that, okay? Like when I say coming, it was coming. So by this point, right, it's been an entire week since I've had all this stuff on my mind or whatever, and I'm just like, bro, I'm not taking this no more. And I'm like, I'm about to break up with her. Like, we are not going to be friends anymore because the way you have came at me, like I haven't, you know, been there for you, right? In like all these crazy ass situations in the past, I'll just say a year, not like the whole 2 years, but like at least the past year, you were coming to me with your personal problems. And I ain't even gonna put your personal problems out here like that. And I know none of these people on the internet know who you are, but like, you came to me with some problems, okay? Some problems. And I was trying to be there for you. And you gonna tell me I'm not a good friend to you? That I don't show up for you? I don't support you? Oh, okay. Bet. So, let me set up the love and hip hop scene, because this is exactly what happened, right? Oh, no, wait, let me put my lashes on. Girl, it's me every time I retell this story, it's just like, I can't believe I let this happen. Like, girl, let me set the scene, right? Let's set the scene. I gotta hurry up, because I gotta take all this off. So, she was like, let's meet at this coffee shop. So I said, okay, girl. So I go to the coffee shop. I park, go into the coffee shop, and she is sitting next to this window, right? Mind you, y'all, I live in Oklahoma. This is in the middle of the day. There's nobody really in this coffee shop. Maybe like one customer and like two people that work there and her, right? So she's sitting next to this sunlit window, you know, very dramatic, right? She's sitting next to the window, right? So I walk in, purse first, girl, because at this point, I'm fed up. I am fed up, okay? Fed up. So I go in, and I can't remember how the conversation started. Now, I can't remember if I started talking or she started talking, or she was like, you could go first since... She didn't say it like this, but she was like, you can go ahead since you're the one that had the problem. Basically, that's basically what she said to me, right? So I go ahead and start talking. So I'm talking about I start off with the friend conversation. I'm like, you said this last Monday, boom, boom, boom. At the time, I was just trying to make sure I was being a good friend to you, whoop-de-dee-woo. But you was literally telling me in that moment that I wasn't being a good friend to you, blah, blase, whatever, that ain't really sit right with me, right? Then I'm going in with the business stuff. I'm going in with, you know, literally just getting everything off my chest, like how I feel about everything, like everything, right? So, and I'm talking for a minute. Like, this ain't no like quick thing. Like, I'm boom, right? Like, I'm hitting her with bangers, right? So then she gonna say, she had the nerve, the audacity, the gall to be like, what she said? She said, so I ended it all, right? Wait, hold on. Let me put it all in the bowl for y'all. I was like, so at the end of the day, basically, I don't want to be your friend anymore. I don't want to do life with you anymore. I don't want to work with you anymore. This is like your last 2 weeks, blah, 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 whatever, something like that. I don't know how I said it, but I said something like that. So she's sitting there flabbergasted. She's looking at me like the gall. Like, she's just like, type, right? And she's like, I just think it's funny how, no, I'm playing, she didn't say that, but she was like, so you had all this time to thinking about, you know, how you felt, whatever, and you didn't feel like you needed to talk to me about it? And I said, we are talking about it. This is us talking about it. Like, this is me having the conversation with you, whatever. We could have had this conversation a few days ago, but you told me you was available Thursday at 12 p.m. So, yeah. And she was like, I just think it's really inhumane. I think it's real inhumane that you came to this decision by yourself and that we couldn't have a conversation on how to fix our friendship. And I'm like, inhumane? You tell me I'm not a human because I don't want to be friends with you no more? Girl, bye. Like, please. Like, are you serious? So I'm over here like, I think I chuckled. I think I legit chuckled like, what? Like, girl, be for real. BFFR. Like, be for real. And I'm just sitting there like, girl, what? So she's trying not to get all like riled up. But she's just, I can't fully remember the conversation because it happened so fast, right? But if I was them coffee makers in there, I'd have been like, bitch. Because it's not like we were quiet, but we weren't yelling either. Like, we were still ladies, but there was nobody else in there. So, like, imagine you fixing coffee, you fixing a latte, or you fixing some water for somebody, and you got some tea. Because, baby, me, I'll be telling everybody and their mama, like, girl, I got some tea. Okay, let me change this camera because I keep looking right there. I be telling everybody and their mama, like, girl, let me tell you what I heard at work today. Boom, boom, bam. So, mind you, right? Throughout the entire conversation from beginning to end, I'm not just saying like, oh, you did this and you did that and you're a bad friend and blah, 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 whatever. I'm also trying to affirm her at the same time, right? I'm like, yeah, this and that happened, but, you know, this is good. This and that happened, but this, like, I'm trying to, like, give positive, you know, affirmations throughout the whole thing, right? So it gets to the point where she didn't had it. She didn't have her stuff with me. She's like, oh, you had to give me a 30-day notice of like not working for you or whatever, and you still owe me for this month. I said, I'm not paying you for that. This can be your 30-day notice, but you're not getting any more work from me. Blah, blah. We don't have a contract. Let's start there. She was like, you can't do this, blah, blah, blah. Like, she did say something about suing, but I was like, sue me for what? We don't have a contract. We never came up with a written, this is how much you're going to get paid for this long. We don't have a contract. We don't have that. You're not even on payroll. Like, I'm paying you as a contractor, my nigga. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, girl, do your best. Go ahead. And then show them the work that you were doing, because there isn't any. You was just getting fucking paid. Whatever. So she said that. I said, oh, okay. That's what we doing. All right. Be for real. Like, what? I was like, I don't want to be free. This is the last day we're ever going to have a conversation, like, whatever. So again, I'm trying to keep it cute. I'm not keeping it nice, nasty. I'm trying to keep it cute, right? And again, I guess she was fed up. She got fed up. She rolled her eyes and she was like, fine. Like, she scoffed at me. So I'm there, right? So I'm there. I'm in like a sweatsuit or something. Cause it was cold. It was like February or something like that. So my purse is like on the table. This is not the purse I had, but just say my purse is on the table. So my purse sitting on the table. She scoffs at me, right? She was like, ugh. She was like, ugh, like, whatever. I said, you know what? You have a great rest of your life, Jackie. We'll never speak again. And bitch, I walked the fuck out. Like, when I say, girl, I walked out there like it was a scene in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I literally said, and walked out that coffee shop and did not look back. Walked out, put my sunglasses on, crossed the freaking street, and walked away. Left her sitting there looking like dumb, boo-boo the fool, face on the ground, paint on it. And I know the people in that coffee shop was like, because there was at least 2 people in there, at least. I don't think there's nobody in there drinking coffee, but it was 2 workers behind that counter. And it was so small. Like, it was not like, hey, this is a big coffee shop. Like, no, girl, it was small. Girl left her sitting there, did not speak to her after that. Then I have not spoken 2 syllables to her since that freaking day. And after everything, I'm just like, that was just so crazy. Like, I know, like, I'm riled up, like, telling the story, because, like, I've been riled up every time I tell the story, because it literally happened a year ago. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'm comfortable to, like, let the internet know about this now. But, like, she really tried it. Like, I don't know, like, I know some of the things she went through, like, growing up or whatever, but, like, and she was going to therapy. Like, she was going to therapy, like, toward the end of our friendship or whatever. She's like, you know, I'm in therapy trying to work on this and that. And I said, continue to go. Please, continue to go. Like, you need to go. Like, because there's so many other things that, like, was going on with her. But she was just really good at projecting, which sucked. Like, that's just what sucked about it. She was terrible at her business. At least with me. She was terrible at her business with me. That was an easy fire. She did unfortunately put like a bad taste in my mouth when it comes to like getting help. Not that I don't want to get help, but I really need to like solidify and clarify what I actually be needing help for, so I'm never in that predicament again, just giving people money just. And I now know that when it comes to my friendships, that I'm a bomb friend. And I told this to her face, I'm a bomb friend. I know what I have to offer, and I know what I give, and I know what I'm able to give. And if that is not enough for you, then I am not enough for you. And I don't want to be in a friendship like this. Like, do I have some issues in my friendships? Yes. Do like some people like do stuff that I don't like, or do I have communication issues with certain things? Yes. But I am very much aware of that. And this year, 2023, is the year of being like a better me. Because like I said, I'm gonna work on certain things, whatever. But I wasn't fully like understanding like how much those things that I was doing was like affecting like my actual close friendships. But they tell me those things. They're not telling me I'm not a good friend to them. They're just like, hey bro, like this part is like not okay. We need to make sure that's okay. And I'm like, okay, cool. Ain't nobody ever came to me and been like, yeah, Kira, you're not a good friend. And I show up for you, you don't show up for me. Never. You're delusional. So I fired her as a friend. And I fired her as an assistant or whatever the heck she was. Wasted thousands of dollars on her. And I really hope she's doing well in life. I hope she is doing exactly what she wants to do. I hope her and her husband are happy. I hope her and her dog is happy. Her and her family. All of that. I wish her nothing but what she deserves. I am not... And yeah, so that's it. I said I was gonna have an hour to do all this, and I'm at my hour. I need to go wash all the stuff off my face. I need to go get some more lashes that are shorter than these. Are they cute? Yes, it's giving. Actually, I'm gonna send it to her and ask her like, are my lashes too big? Because I feel like they are. I really gotta go buy some more concealer. Wow, I look like my mother. Okay, y'all. But that's it. That's it. I'm about to go wash all this stuff off my face. Because, yeah, I literally was doing this not for the video, but to actually practice. And I was like, well, let me just record while I do it. And yeah, now I look like a completely different person without the lashes. I feel like the lashes are too long. Wow, I can't believe I just said that. How long were these? 25. Yeah, I need to see if they got like some 20s. They were cute though. I'm not mad. But yeah, so let me know if y'all like this video. Please actually like this video. Comment what was your favorite part of this video. Or put a comment on what you would have done in this situation. Like if you would have handled it the same way. Or if you would have handled it differently. And then also let me know if y'all actually like story times. So I actually have like a little bit more that are kind of like business related and stuff like that in a sense, kind of. So y'all let me know about that. And yeah, so I love you. God loves you more, obviously. And I can't wait to see y'all in the next one. Bye.